So today I just wanted to talk about all the controversy that's going on surrounding Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. If you've seen the controversy going on around it, it's mainly to do with what they did to Batman. Batman within the Arkham series is one of the most beloved characters in the game, mostly also because he's just brought to life by Kevin Conroy's voice, who sadly passed away a year or so ago, I think. And with Rocksteady, the developers of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, who also made Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, with all the controversy surrounding it, the reason why there is quite a big controversy is because if you've seen the way Batman goes out, like, first of all, the boss fight regarding Batman is just very generic. You could just see it in any other game. Most people would have been expecting that if you had a game fighting Batman, they could have gone all out with this. They could have done something very unique. You could have had a boss fight of a boss that kind of stealthily maneuvers around you, like using vents or grates, or in the darkness as well, using darkness to its advantage. But what you get with this game is just a big version of Batman, like a demon Batman who is giant. And I mean, the gameplay is just very generic as well. It's just a generic shooter. There's just nothing special about it. But the ending with Batman, where he's just shot on a park bench, is just so anticlimactic, and just so many people find it disrespectful because we've been with this Batman since 2009. And bearing in mind, Rocksteady have confirmed that this game, Suicide Squad, is within the same universe as the Arkham games. The other three Arkham games that they made, the trilogy, is just really good. And then they come out with this, which is just a wet fart. It's just full of skid marks all over the face of people who bought the game and thought it was going to be really enjoyable to play, which maybe some people do think that, but most people just really don't like this game, and the whole Batman thing is a really big reason as to why. The reason why people think it's disrespectful is because you've grown with this character. Some people might have grown up with this character. The first game, Arkham Asylum, came out in 2009, and he had Arkham City and Arkham Knight, and I think he had Arkham Origins in between those two. And then there's a 9-year break between Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. There's a 9-year break, and we're expecting that Rocksteady's track record, we think it's going to be really good. We think it's going to be full of that magic that was brought to these games prior, but it just seems like there's nothing there. It just seems like a completely new company has just taken over this project. It's just really weird to see. And the reason why I have Steam charts up at the moment is because if you look, all-time peak 12,667. Now this could change, and the game's only been out for a day on Steam, so it could possibly go up. It's like 10,000 right now, so it could change. But the reason why I have this up isn't just to show off the player count. The main reason why I'm showing it off is because Rocksteady think they can turn this into a live service game. Why this is so surprising is because 12,000 players all-time peak for a live service game is dreadful, and you wanna know how to prove? I'm going to prove it to you. Minecraft current live player count 3.1 million. Fortnite 3 million. And I mean, just look at how many there are. Now these games aren't going to be, not all of them are going to be really active as of currently. It might be Titanfall 2 isn't as active as Roblox or Fortnite like that. That's just as you'd expect. But even Titanfall 2, 23,000 for a game that came out years ago and is still able to get nearly 24,000 players online. If you look at something, let's say League of Legends, 2.4 million. I just go back to it, like, how are they going to compete with those numbers? Like, you just can't. This service is probably just going to be out for like a day and everyone's just going to scrap it. Like, there's probably more people refunding the game than there are people actually playing the game. If you're curious what I mean by this, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League refund search requests have risen by 761%, and this was written 31st of January. This game came out on the 30th of January, and then came out on Steam on the 2nd of February. Only a day later, and the search requests for a refund are at 761% for a game made by Rocksteady. They should just rebrand this game to like Jay Sean the game, because it's going down, 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 down. I hope you like my singing, by the way, but I digress. This game should not be falling as much as it has, and yet it's just in hell at the moment. It's in decline. I don't know how they've managed to mess it up this badly, but it's actually quite impressive. Some of you might remember that this game was kind of in development hell. It was delayed, I think, twice. It was delayed the first time in 2022, and then it was delayed again last year on May 26th, I believe. This game entered development in 2017, so by then it was already in development for 5 or 6 years. It got delayed, and then it came out after after 7 years of being in development. And then this is what we get, so it kind of makes you wonder what the game would have been like if it came out in its original plans of 2022. Like, basically unplayable, probably. You would have logged onto the game and you're just playing Pong instead. That's what I feel like the game would have been like. You know, I haven't played the game, but I want a refund as well for what I've had to see. You know, I'll probably have some footage of all the fight scenes with Batman going on and just some of the gameplay and the whole Batman getting shot, you know, spoilers, but I'm sure lots of you already know about it at this point. As I said, it's just really anticlimactic for a game character that's so beloved, and it just seems so disrespectful to Kevin Conroy, who'd voiced Batman since 2009, and then just for him to have his last ever Batman project go out like this. Like, as I said, they could have been really creative with this fight. They didn't have to be really generic and go, oh, let's just make Batman really big, really try and make him really scary. They're trying too hard to make him scary. It could be so much easier just have him sneak around in the darkness like we've done in previous Arkham games. Like, that would have been so clever if that was the boss fight, if how we've acted as Batman in the Arkham series, in Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, where you can go on these pillars at the top and then swoop down and take out these enemies. That would have been so much cooler to do rather than just fight him as a big demon. Like, it just seems like such a weird decision. Also, here was another thing that really added the cherry on top of this not so delicious cake. As you can see, Kill the Justice League had experienced a rocky start before it even launched. Things would not improve on early access launch day, when the game had to be taken down to fix a devastating bug which would reward players with 100% completion before they had even taken a step in game. This is one thing, like, games when they start can have bugs, they can have glitches when they start. You know, you should have play tests so it kind of minimizes the amount of bugs that will be in game from the start. But bugs being in games is nothing new, especially when a game first launches. But I mean, to have this devastating bug, as they call it, when you start the game, you've practically finished the game as soon as you start it. I mean, it's a speedrunner's dream, I imagine, but everyone else that just wants to play the game, and they just get met with, oh, you've completed the game, well done. But also, one thing that I want to point out is, I don't know if you've played the game. As I said, I haven't played the game. I've just seen clips of it, and I think that's enough for me to know whether or not I will play the game. Spoiler alert, I won't. But that you have to have online access to play the game, even though the game is single player, or can be played in single player. Like, you still have to have online access, which is why so many people, when they get this game, would just want to play for the single player perspective, right? They would just want to play on their own. I don't think they want to be forced to play online, even if they're just playing single player. Like, why is that even an option? It's 2024. Why are we making people play online when they just want to play on their own? Like, I'm someone who likes to play single players alone. That's not just me saying I don't have any friends, but I like to play alone a lot of the time, single players. If I get met with, oh, sorry, you have to be online all the time, it's just why I just want to play the game. As soon as I start it, I just want to play. I don't want to get into like any roadblocks that there may be. If you go here, how long to beat, this is via Steam, by the way. The main story is 10 hours long, and bearing in mind this game is full price. So you see Steam, £60. If you're doing dollars, $70, and there's a deluxe edition, by the way, £90. You've got to kind of think to yourself, is this worth it? 10 hours of main story, 15 hours main story and side quests. You can get I love The Witcher 3, by the way. I don't want to get into too much of me loving the game, but you can get The Witcher 3 on sale for about £3, £4, maybe £5. That game is about 5 times the length, maybe even more, of the main story. You can get it for so much less. It just seems insane to me that this game is charged £60 full price for a game that currently is only 10 hours long, the main story, which you have to have online access for, and then when you actually complete the game, you're just left wondering, what the hell just happened? Why did I face a big demon Batman? Why was it so anticlimactic? Why did he just get shot on a park bench? There's just so many questions, and it's no wonder that people just don't like it. But also, I imagine the price has to come with the fact that they want to make this live service, and it just, I mean, that just seems really mind-boggling to me. To think that they can get into a market that's already so saturated with games such as Fortnite, League of Legends, Apex Legends, Minecraft, Roblox, Rocket League, I mean, the list goes on. And currently the player count is 10,000, but at all time 12,000. When you're competing with the likes of Fortnite, which will get 3 million. it. I don't know where these people are all going to come from. I don't know if it's going to be a gift from God that there's just going to be suddenly 3 million people playing the game. I highly doubt it. But one of the more bizarre things is when you go to Steam and it says 86% of 1,400 people found this good, or, you know, found it positive. It just seems like this is telling a different story. Like 86% positive on Steam is good. It's a very good score. It's not great. It's not like 90+%, but it's not far off that for a game that has got so much slack recently. It just seems so weird to me. And then obviously when you go down to all the reviews, you can see there are a few that were probably left by a few developers from Rocksteady. Surprisingly amazing. If you're a DC fan who wants to play a 4 players co-op open world, then it's a must-have. I very much doubt it. I don't know how Steam has 86% positive. I imagine maybe Rocksteady's using the money they have left to pay some reviewers. It seems very unlikely that it's a must-have in most people's minds when you see what they did to Batman, but also just what they've done to The Flash, Superman. The gameplay is like serviceable at best. I don't think it's anything too great. I mean, there's one review that says the combat is very fun and crazy, including the boss fights, but I've seen the boss fight. It just looks kind of generic. It doesn't look like anything special that it could have been, particularly with Batman. And also just, I mean, how Superman is killed, like how have the Suicide Squad killed not only Batman but Superman? How has that happened? I have no clue how that is possible. Here's another review left by some of the developers at Rocksteady. Don't listen to negative reviews or haters talking nonsense. This game's a 10 out of 10 in every way. Super recommend. A true new generation AAA brutal. Yeah, I bet. I bet if I was playing this game right now, I'd be having the time of my life. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. If my family members were dying from, I don't know, they were in hospital and I only had like an hour left to speak to them, I'd say no, I'm playing Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. You don't understand, this game is the best of all time. Nothing is gonna move me from this chair. You know, I imagine if you've seen Boomerang's face, Boomerang being one of the characters in Suicide Squad, if you've seen his faces, his facial expressions, I imagine just look at one of them, just search up Boomerang facial expressions, and just one of them is what you'd imagine most people playing the game would look like. You know, I can't really help myself. One thing I do want to do is just check the negative reviews. I know it's not really going to be a fair argument, but it's clear that not many people like the game, so I just want to see if I can find any funny reviews. Story is ass, gameplay kind of good though. Fuck, what did they do to my boy Batman? Honestly, I feel like this review should be what the stall page says about the game, in all honesty. I'd prefer them to change it to that. One thing I found quite funny is this part. As the game got closer to launch and gameplay snippets leaked to the internet, more and more people became unhappy with the game's content, with IGN itself reporting they didn't like it. If IGN doesn't like your game, you are doing something astronomically wrong. IGN is the biggest arse-licker reviewer I've ever seen. They will give 7 out of 10 and no less to all games. I don't know what they've given to Suicide Squad, if they've even rated it yet, but as a result, they were reportedly denied review access by Warner Bros. Oh, what a shame, poor IGN. But I mean, if bloody IGN doesn't like your game, what are you doing wrong? Like, you have to really take a deep look at yourself and think to yourself. But I do want to end on more of a serious note. Rest in peace to Kevin Conroy. You deserved so much better than what they've given you. I wish this game made you so much better than what they've done to you. They have absolutely butchered your legacy. They've butchered just Batman's legacy in general. Like, some people might say that's like being really overdramatic, but claiming that it's in the same universe as the Arkham games is just mind-boggling to me. Just say it's in an alternate universe and people will still hate the game, they'll hate it less. Like, that's a massive factor. People don't want to see Batman, of all people, of all superheroes, go out with a bullet to the head. You know, you'd think with how much Batman plans his stuff, you'd think Batman would come equipped with some sort of like bulletproof mask or like a bullet, just everything bulletproof. Like, you'd think that the same Batman prior games, or just the prior media to this game, would be smart enough to know that, I mean, if he even was going to lose to the Suicide Squad, I mean, I still just don't understand how Batman, and let alone Superman, God forbid, like how he's lost to them. How Batman has lost to 4 people who look like they're going trick-or-treating on Halloween. But anyway, thank you for watching this video on this game that I'm never ever going to play, and well, after seeing all the videos and all the controversy surrounding it, I am sure you will not either, and if you have, my condolences. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. alligator.